next up, we have our VS Code hints, tips, and tricks of the week. And this one is pretty interesting, I think. When I saw it, I'm like, I have to see what the heck this is talking about. It's called Gremlins Tracker. So, Gremlins Tracker for VS Code. This visual code extension reveals some characters that can be harmful because they're invisible or they look like legitimate ones. And so I'll share my screen while you give us a few features here. And then we can.
I mean, they kind of already had you with the name, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but I mean, look at for those watching, look at the icon. It's a real gremlin, and you'll see it in VS Code. So, but yeah,
So some of the features they have listed is that it will display a red bar when there are certain um, characters in the code that are essentially harmful or bad. So when there is a zero width space, or if there's a zero width, it says non-joiner in the code, the extension will show a red bar. And it looks like it also will highlight or show non-breaking spaces, and I guess just some things that maybe you're not seeing in the editor itself, but that are there that are hidden. Is that kind of the idea of it, Gavin?
yeah. So a lot of times we get weird bomb things, or you'll get like they said the zero width space, or the that's like the Unicode 200B or whatever. So a lot of times you copy paste
Yeah.
things from one place to another, you get these weird characters, and it's so hard to see them. A lot of times I got to copy paste them to an online tool to try to find them. And one of those things is like smart quotes when you copy from Word. They're double quotes, but they get converted to a Microsoft Smart quote, and then that doesn't get treated the same way by other things. And so a lot of things are hard to see. And so it's kind of cool though. The red bar means it's like it's bad. Some things like the non-breaking spaces or those left and right double quotation marks or whatever, they'll show up as orange, and then other things that you might want to know they're there, but they're not bad, they show up as blue. And so if you put your mouse over it, like in the picture here, it'll tell you that like it's a zero width space and there's Unicode. And a lot of times you get weird stuff back from APIs, and like you just can't tell what's in it. But throwing it in here will give you some of those options. And there's little gremlin icons in there by the numbers for the line numbers, so that's kind of cool. So right there in the gutter, you'll show one of the gremlin characters if there's a gremlin on that line, so it makes it easy to identify, which is pretty cool. And of course, the cool thing is you can add more gremlin characters. So if there's certain ones that you want, like there's a form feed one, so 000C, which is a zero width of true, the description, and then the overview rule color, so you can give it the color you want. As an example here, and there's a bunch of Unicode characters you could add. And then, of course, you can make them language specific too. So, Markdown might have certain requirements that other things don't, so there's certain things that might be good for one language and you can ignore another. And so this allows you in Markdown, for example, to have the 00C be one thing, but then, ignore the non-breaking space character in Markdown files. And again, you can hide the gutter character as well, but you can also make it show up in the problems pane. So if you want to change the setting, then it'll be in your problems pane as well. And again, it's got the red, orange, and blue, so you can see the differences here and see which one is actually found, which is pretty cool. And I think I have another tool which shows line endings and stuff, but you could do that as well. And so it's based off of the Sublime one, but I thought it was kind of neat. So I haven't actually
Yeah.
used that one yet, but I saw that. I'm like, I'm going to install that one because it definitely happens. So, that's one of those things.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see your shared screen, so I didn't get to see all the gremlins. But
Yeah.
I'll check that out. I will say that these issues, it seems like any bugs that are related to this sort of stuff, they're the hardest to run down because you're not getting any sort of you're often not getting like a syntax error or anything that it's going to bubble up in Cold Fusion or, one of the engines. And so sometimes trying to chase these things down can take a long time. So I
Yep.
could see where having a tool would be very helpful.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, even if they're allowed in that language, then put an exception or a rule or whatever. But a lot of times, like if you're doing SQL stuff, some SQL tools won't let you use double, quotes for strings. You have to use quotes for column names and single quotes for variables and stuff. So, little things like that could be useful to be able to paste it down based on a language or whatnot. So, But anyway, again, there's a little extension. Try it out and tell us what you think. Yeah, I wonder what other characters James Moberg has on his list of things that he likes to search for and remove. Sure, he's got a few.
That was our VSCode hint, tip, and trick of the week. Brought to you by Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions YouTube channel.